the mic on. Thank you so much for that. I accidentally must have put it onto mute. Thanks so much for everyone who has tuned in. I've got myself in a different way. There we are. Should be on. Are we on? So yeah, I just need to quickly do the chat. There we are. So thank you so much for everyone who has tuned in. I really do appreciate it. As you can see, I'm in a different box today. I'm over here. Thank you so much for everyone who has tuned in. I appreciate it. So Peanut Butter Banana, thank you for tuning in, dude. How you doing? Liam Martin, thank you for tuning in. How are you? Mark, thank you for tuning in, dude. How you doing? All right, Mike. How are you? I'm very well, thank you, Mark. How have you been? Alex, thank you for tuning in as well. Chris, thanks so much for tuning in, dude. Hi, Mike. How are you? I'm very well, thank you, Chris. If you haven't already checked out Chris has recently started a YouTube channel, so feel free to go and give him a subscribe. That would be really, really nice of you. Hi, Mike. Really appreciate your shout-outs. Thank you so much. I'm glad that they've helped. Let me just try and make this box a bit bigger. Hi, Akira. I think I was tuning in, dude. What the bloody hell is that? Activision presents a smashing blast from the past. Can't find the thing now. Is this a Q&A? Yes. Feel free to get your questions in. I would appreciate it, or otherwise it would just be me talking, won't it? Hiya to Rich. Thank you for tuning in, Rich. How you doing? Do you think they'll stay up? So Norwich have got the easiest possible game on the opening day. They've really been hard done by their start and their end. They have obviously Liverpool away on the opening night, and they have Manchester City away on the final day. It could not be much worse for them. Do you want to turn that down a little bit? Yeah. There we are. That's better. Now I'll just. That's better. Sorry, I'm not used to this this setup. Obviously, I'm usually on my live stream. There we are. If you wonder what the thing is behind it, is it's Hereford. It's so weird me being over there, over this side. I'm really freaked out. I'm great. Are you streaming the World Cup Women's Football tonight? No, I'm not going to be streaming it. I know this sounds a bit horrible, but I don't have the knowledge base to be able to probably like I could sit there and probably worm my way through it, and if it can get through, I might cover. Depends on how far they go. I'll probably be watching it. I'll probably watch it, but I won't be streaming it. Kelly playing Crash? Yes, she is playing Crash. Because I've got no football on. I've got my other camera on, and it's weird seeing myself and then like me going ooh, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. There is my thing. Right. Okay. So United stand or 4-time Devils. I actually prefer the United stand myself. Thoughts on Virgil van Dijk being favourite for the Ballon d'Or? He's had a very good season. I still think Messi is the best player in the world, and I think he should win it. Messi will win the Ballon d'Or, says Kieran. Hopefully not. I like Norwich. I'm okay. How are you, Kelly and Alpha? Yes, we're doing very well. Thank you, Rich. Thank you for asking. I don't think Norwich will spend enough. I don't think they'll spend much, to be fair, but I would hope that they all stay up. I don't think that they will all stay up. Do you remember me? Tyrex game, I think I was tuning in. Of course I remember you. England winning penalties, imagine my shot. It's weird. England winning 2 penalty shootouts in a row, but it is what it is. Got my Coca-Cola t-shirt on today. Messi, Bernardo Silva, Van Dijk, my top 3 for the Ballon d'Or in any order. I think it will definitely be those, Chris. I'm just not sure what order it will be. I think Bernardo Silva's had a brilliant season, to be fair. I think Van Dijk's had a great season. And yeah, I think they... That's a bit better. So I think there will be that order. I'm just not sure which order it'll be in. But it will be below 3. Goldbridge or DT. I prefer Mark Goldbridge. I think DT is a bit of a interesting person. Easy win for Liverpool on the first day of the season. Yeah, it should be. It should be comfortable. I don't think it'll be like 5 or 6-0, but I think it'll be comfortable. Can we ask you any questions? Yeah, as long as it's not like anything horrible. Mark does too much content and every penny he makes. Yeah, he does. He puts out a lot of content. He's worked his way up. I think the United Stand was a smaller channel at times, and obviously he's done well to make it what it is. Norwich getting Liverpool might not be a bad thing, as Liverpool could teach them a lesson in the Premier League. Yes, that could be true. But I'd rather start off with a win. Where do you think Sheffield United, Norwich and Aston Villa will finish? If you haven't already, guys, feel free to give a smash a like on the video. 8 likes already. I really do appreciate it. So I think that Norwich will go down. Sorry, any Norwich fans, which obviously there won't be. Sheffield United, I think, will probably go down. And I think Villa will stay up. I want all 3 to stay up. Particularly Aston Villa. But I think that they will struggle. Sorry, I'm making a funny noise because my phone's just gone off. I will put it by Kelly so I won't be distracted by it. So, what next question? Silva and Van Dijk won't be in the Ballon d'Or top 3. I'm not saying that they don't deserve it, but I can't see it happening. I think Van Dijk will be. I'm not sure about Bernardo Silva. What's wrong with OT? I just think that, I don't know, I'm just not keen on it. I just feel like there's something of, I feel like he knows what he's doing. I think Norwich and Sheffield United will stay up, but I can see Villa going down, so that's the opposite of me. Interesting. Laughing at people saying Norwich will win the Prem. What is your early top 4 prediction for the Premier League? It's far too early to tell. Obviously, it would be Liverpool and City in the top 2. City obviously winning the league because Liverpool are cursed. I think Spurs will probably spend and get into it. Maybe Manchester United. Goldbridge reactions when United concede are funny. Yeah, they are. I think it will be the other way around. My early prediction: Liverpool, Man City, Spurs, Chelsea. So the same 1-2 swapping. So it's not too similar to that one. Would you ever consider bringing other people on via Skype, such as Google Hangouts and chat during the watch-alongs? I have done this. I have done this with my good friend Theo. I've done this a few times with Theo. The last time I did it was West Brom versus Aston Villa in the Championship. So yeah, I do it sometimes. I do it whenever he's free. Well, I say whenever he's free. I do it when he asked, or when I ask, or whenever we can do it. Villa could be an interesting team next year, as apparently they are going for every game, even Liverpool and City away. They don't want to go. I admire the optimism, but you don't want to go, all guns blazing at Liverpool and City, because they will absolutely destroy you. Norwich, Sheffield United and Bournemouth will go down. I hope Bournemouth stay up. I quite like Bournemouth, but maybe they will go down. I can see Villa being the new Wolves/Burnley, so you can see them finishing 7th. That'd be quite something if they did that. I remember Arsenal came second in the 15-16 season, and because of that season I was happy. That was a season that Leicester won the title, I think. Should have won the title though, shouldn't you? Arsenal should have won a title that year. Brighton, Norwich and Sheffield United to go down, in my opinion. I think that Brighton will struggle. Wolves and Burnley are very different. I think what he means is that like challenging for Europe, which both of them have done in recent seasons. Liverpool will always be the bridesmaid in the Premier League. Newcastle signed anyone yet? Well, they're going through this phase of this whole ownership situation, and I'm not sure what the latest news on that. It's been a while. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Bolton have accepted an offer for their club. Hopefully that person, whomever it may be, is a very good good for the club. Brighton, Norwich, and Southampton will go down. What's yours? I honestly don't know until we have a look at what the signings and stuff like that. So I'm not sure. Leicester got same points as when United finished second. Just goes to show how bad top 6 teams were that year. Yeah, it doesn't really matter though, does it? Because Leicester won the title and that's all that matters. All that matters is Leicester won the title. Doesn't matter how many points they finished on. But they would have been obviously totally wiped out by the likes of City and Liverpool in recent seasons. I think Southampton will stay up fairly easy. I quite like Ralph Hasenhüttl. I think he's done quite well. He seems a good manager. I quite like his optimism. He seems very, very happy. So I quite like Ralph Hasenhüttl. So I hope he does that. Do you make much from YouTube monthly? No, I don't make much, to be fair. Hazard has left. Yeah, obviously he's left. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, but it's expected that he would leave at some point. Where do you think Liverpool need to strengthen? Well, the goalkeeper's pretty decent, so I don't think they need to strengthen that. Right back, Alexander Arnold's obviously had a great season. And then in central defence, obviously Van Dijk is probably the best in the business. And then you have the likes of Joe Gomez was decent until he got injured. Matip come in and done a good job. Don't think they need to strengthen there. Robertson is quality, one of the best left backs in the world. I don't think he is the best left back in the world, but he's done very well. Kieran, thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. See you again. So I think that they've done fairly well up until then. In midfield, they got Keita, they got Fabinho, they got Henderson, they got Milner, they got Oxlade-Chamberlain. They got a lot of options. However, I think that's where they could improve in midfield. Up front, I think that they could probably do with if they were going all out, I think they could do with a striker. I think they can get better than Firmino. Firmino does very well, but maybe somebody that scores a few more goals. So goal for subscribers at the end of next season, maybe 7,000. My aim was 5,000 by the end of the year. So yeah, 7,500 would be pretty good. Aston Villa are Premier League team, so they will definitely stay up. But you never know in football. You don't know what happened. They've signed Wesley Moraes. He looks pretty good. Apparently the company behind the takeover is called Football Ventures. I just hope they're not Ken Anderson. That's all I hope. Obviously it wouldn't be the Ken Anderson, but I hope it's not somebody like Ken Anderson. Did you watch USA Women versus Thailand Women? I didn't watch it, but I obviously saw the score. Absolutely hammered. Absolutely hammered. I really do feel sorry for Thailand. Esteemed Company or Man City Fan TV? I prefer Esteemed Company. I do watch Esteemed Company fairly often. Do you think headers should be banned? At a certain level. At a certain level, I think they should be banned. God, my head's all red from where I've been wearing my hat. So I think that they should be banned at a certain level, but like age level. Next question. I didn't know that Hazard moved to Real Madrid until I saw it on Sky Sports earlier on. I have the Sky Sports news app, and that keeps you pretty up to date. Hi Mike, can you at some point go through the matches from round 1 to the end of next season? Hi Professional Gun, thank you for tuning in. That would be interesting. I did a video similar to that last year, but I think I've missed the boat a little bit, so I'm not sure about that one. Any chance we could have another shout out? Trying to hit 1k subs for the start of the season. Very difficult with 584 subs. I'll give you another shout out at some point. I need to make this box smaller because, hang on, I can read it on here. I mean, at the end of the day, just go at your pace. You don't want to end up with loads of a bit like me, really. I have a lot of subscribers, but I don't have I have a good audience of people, but I don't have like if you have people, like a lot of people subscribe to get a name on the screen, things like that, which is fine, but it leads to so people aren't that interested in the content, which you don't really want that. I can't believe the Merseyside derby got put out as a midweek game. I've not seen that, but that is pretty crazy. When did you start YouTube? The 5th of March 2018. You easily get 7.5 next season. Stream will be good. Yes, hopefully. The current Ken Anderson and number 2 is Steve Dale at Barry. Yes. Thoughts on Man City saga last week? Man City Fan TV saga. I find it a little strange that he couldn't have just recorded audio, that he had to record video. I find it a little bit weird. That he was recording somebody who clearly wants to remain private and he didn't mention it. I find it all a little bit weird. I think that the truth isn't out yet. I don't really care, but it is what it is. How do you think Liverpool will do in 7 competitions? Let me scroll down to this one. So it's Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Premier League, Champions League, Community Shield, UEFA Super Cup, FIFA Club World Cup. Well, half of those don't matter. Does it matter if Liverpool win the Community Shield? Not overly. Does it matter if they win the Super Cup? Not overly. Does it matter if they win the FIFA Club World Cup? They should win it, but it doesn't matter if they don't. So, I think the only ones that matter are the 4 that they were in this season. So I think that they'll do fine. I think they'll win silverware again. I'm just not sure what that silverware will be. BRB, okie dokie, no problem at all. If I was playing, I'd probably not even go to head the ball by jumping because I won't even win it. I think you're pretty short, so yeah, it's I think headers should be completely banned. They're making players have brain issues later on in life. Well, that's it. I think they should be banned at a young age, but I did miss that one earlier. Who's winning Euro 2020? Sorry, I hate your channel if you're still watching. I don't know about banding totally, but maybe they should. Maybe they should. I think more information needs to come out. What were your ways of growing your channel? I do live streams, a lot of live streams, and that's how I grow my channel. Live streams. Just doing like watch-alongs for games. Do you think Sarri will go to Juventus? And do you think Frank Lampard will go to Chelsea? Do you think Sarri will go to Juventus? Yes. I think he will go to Juventus. I think that's pretty much a done deal now. So I think that he will go. Do you think Frank Lampard will go to Chelsea? I think they won't go to that well yet. I don't think they'll go to that cow yet, and I don't think they'll do that. What's the FIFA Club World Cup? So it's a tournament in December usually, and it's between the winners of each Champions League winner. So each confederation has its own Champions League. So for example, there's obviously the UEFA Champions League, and then there's the Asian Champions League, and then etc. And then all winners go into this competition, and they work out a winner from there, I believe. Putting out videos, I'm a football fan, hoping they do good. Who's winning Euro 2020? I think France will win it. I just don't see how. I think they're still a good side, so I'm not sure if they will. I'm not sure, but I think they'll probably win it again. They're so much better than England, for example. So I think they will probably win it again. Thanks so much for tuning in, football fan. Chat, the football fan chat rather. It's for football, not headball. No, but sometimes you've got to header it away. Like sometimes you have to. Like you have no choice. So, didn't you upload for like 7 months straight? Yeah, I did. I uploaded for, I think it was like April to October, and then I went on holiday, so I didn't upload. So I did upload for a very, very long time in a row. When I look up to how to grow a YouTube channel, it says use key phrases in the search box, but I'm restricted to putting two teams in the title as well as type of content. What's the best titles? I don't know. To be fair, I don't know. I think France will win the Euro 2020 and retain their World Cup crown in 2022. Got the best squad in internationals. They do have the best squad, and the thing is, they have the best squad, and then there's like literally nothing you can do. If you're England and you have a wealth of players that play, you can't do anything about it because international football is literally who you produce. So there's not a lot anyone can do about it. I think France probably retain again. They simply have the best team. I'm off. Good luck with the rest of the stream. I think I've read that one out. Realistic, where would you expect England to get knocked out at? I hope at least the semi-finals. It would be nice to see England play at Wembley in the semi-finals or the final. That would be really cool. Semi-finals should be the aim of England after the World Cup 2018 and Nations League. Yeah, semi-finals at least should be the aim. It would be nice to see us do something. Maybe get to the final. It would be good for us to finish. Even if we finish runners-up, it would still be a very, very good achievement to finish runners-up. It would be nice to. Liverpool and Man United have entered the EFL Trophy. That's very interesting because that was something that nobody really wanted to go into, and now the bigger teams are starting to join the trophy. So we'll have a look at the quick look at the Premier League fixtures. It would be a hat-trick of semi-finals. Louis, thank you much for tuning in. Or it's Lewis. It's Lewis. I'm pretty sure I always say Louis, and then I'm like, oh wait, no, it's Lewis. Thank you much for tuning in, dude. How you doing? It would be a hat-trick of semi-finals, which isn't too bad considering our record of going out in the quarter-finals. So, how many trophies do you think Man City will win? All of them. All of them. They win every single one. I think about 2. Probably win about 2 trophies. So, Liverpool start off with Norwich City on Friday the 9th of August. I'd rather have started with someone else, but it is what it is. Maybe it would be nice to have Manchester United versus Chelsea on the first day. That would have been a good start. But West Ham and Manchester City then start at 12:30. I think this one will be a City win. Tottenham versus Aston Villa. That's going to be quite an interesting one. I'm looking forward to watching that one. Leicester City versus Wolves. That should be a good game as well as Crystal Palace versus Everton. Sunday, Newcastle versus Arsenal should be a very good game, and Manchester United versus Chelsea. Saturday the 17th of August. They haven't released the fixtures yet, but the fixtures in the TV games: Chelsea versus Liverpool, Manchester City versus Tottenham Hotspur, Wolves versus Manchester United. So some good games there. Southampton versus Liverpool. Who will go up from next season from the Championship? It's too early to tell. However, I think West Brom have made a good appointment. I'm quite impressed with that appointment of Slaven Bilic. I think that was a really good appointment by them. There's some good fixtures there. and then Saturday the 31st of August, Arsenal Spurs. What else have we got? Manchester City versus Brighton, Southampton versus Manchester United. That will be quite tough for them. Everton versus Wolves, Aston Villa versus Crystal Palace. So some good games there. I have a feeling Barnsley might go up. That would be very interesting because they've obviously only just come up. I Leeds, Fulham and Stoke to go up from the Championship. I'd quite like to see Leonard. I don't know a Leonard. Do I? Do I know a Leonard? What was your name before? That would help. What was your name before? I'd like to see Barnsley maybe do it, but I would be very surprised if Barnsley went up. So Leeds, Barnsley and Sheffield Wednesday. That's interesting as well. Where do you think the Lit will end up? Probably PSG, I would say. Probably PSG. Leonard O'Neill. Oh, okay. Sorry. I see. Sorry, I totally just slipped my mind.
My face mask should be here on Monday.
That's very good, sweetie. Our fixtures released next Thursday. Want to start off with somebody like Bury or Accrington, or Accrington, either home or away. First would be better. Away would be better. Bury would be a great start because they're in trouble. I may miss a lot of Ipswich home games. So sort of tune in, Nick, as well. I will be working most when we play at home because Norwich home games are on my Saturday off now. Can't play the same day. Oh, I see. Okay. First Leeds game for Leeds would be Barnsley. So it could be on anyone, obviously, but it's always nice to get off to a winning start. So you don't want to play anyone too good. I doubt it will be Bury first, as rivalry games aren't normally selected on the opening day. They're normally in the middle of the season. Yeah, well, there's always a chance they could go with something different, I suppose. No reason why they can't go nuts. So we're going into September, and then Manchester United versus Leicester, Liverpool, Newcastle, Tottenham versus Crystal Palace, Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Chelsea. JC8 game, I think that's tune in, dude. Huddersfield Town to go up. Yes, they could do. I don't think they will, though. So my predictions for the first game: Liverpool to win about 4-0, I would say, against Norwich. West Ham versus Manchester City. I'll go 3-1 to City. Obviously, these might change when I actually do my predictions, but AFC Bournemouth versus Sheffield United. I think it would be 2-0 to Bournemouth. I think Cardiff started that against Bournemouth on the opening day away from home as well. Burnley versus Southampton. I'll go for a draw. Crystal Palace versus Everton. I'll go for a Everton win. Leicester versus Wolves, I'll go for a draw. Watford versus Brighton, I'd probably go for a win for Brighton. Watford rather. Tottenham versus Aston Villa, probably go about 3-0 to Tottenham. Newcastle versus Arsenal, this could be the first shock of the season. I think that they probably get a point there, Newcastle. And then Manchester United, Chelsea, that could be anything. I have no idea of that one. When's the Carabao Cup first round draw? I believe it is soon. If I make 12 home and 17 away, that's fine. Book holidays in the right places. That's not too bad, to be fair. That's not a too bad record. Quite like myself in this little box. It's weird being in a little box. No, Norwich, Liverpool draw, I think. Bolton start on 20 minus, I heard. I think it's minus 12. That's what the usual amount is for administration. And you'll find it hard this season. They have a really, really difficult start, I believe. Let's have a look at their start. So they have Chelsea, Wolves, Crystal Palace, Southampton in August. That's not the best start. Leicester, West Ham, Arsenal, Newcastle, Liverpool, and then it goes slightly east. They could be really, really struggling, which would be not the best. I like what EFL did by scrapping extra time. The FA, UEFA, and FIFA should follow up. Yeah, I think it's better for that competition. It's particularly when there's nothing riding on the games much. It doesn't really matter who goes through. So I think it's good. Imagine if Bolton went to League Two. Hopefully with the a takeover, hopefully that they'll be able to sort themselves out. -12 might put a score down for a couple of those. I probably won't go over my predictions. I never get many right. Brentford's game was not played, so those points need to be taken away. So they could lose a -8 points for not playing a game is a little excessive. It was, I don't know what they'll do, but like I say, I think it will be a very tough start for Manchester United. I think Huddersfield, Wednesday, and Barnsley will go up next season. I'm surprised. Why is a couple of you said Barnsley? Why Barnsley? If we were to go up, it would probably be us scraping into the playoffs at the very best. Well, that's it. I think Leeds had a -15 points and they ended up in the playoffs. I don't think it'll go straight back up because it would be difficult with a -12 points. But I think that you'll be fine. Yeah, it's always hard to predict these games. Thank you much everyone who's tuned in. I appreciate it. 14 likes. Thank you much everyone who's hit the like button. I really do appreciate the support you all give on the channel. I need to take out the Patreon bit because I've shut that down. I thought I'd taken that out. I think shock on it opening weekend would be like West Ham versus Man City or Newcastle versus Arsenal. I think Newcastle versus Arsenal, maybe that could be it. Arsenal don't have the greatest of starts. I think Barnsley like to play football in the same way Norwich, the German way. That is very true. That is very true as well. Arsenal. So they have Newcastle to start off. Burnley at home, they should win that. Liverpool away. Tottenham at home. Watford away. And then Aston Villa at home and Man United away. So they do have a tough start as well for Unai Emery. So thank you very much everyone who's tuned in so far. I really do appreciate it. Newcastle to break into top 8 this season. I don't know. It's hard to tell because of what the situation with everything going on at the club with the takeover. It's going to be very hard to tell how it will go. But I hope the takeover situation is completed, even if they don't have a takeover. Even if they don't have a takeover, which wouldn't be the best news, it would be good to have a conclusion to it, which is needed, because at the moment it could just end up being that they don't end up signing anyone and they don't end up being sold. How will Hereford do? I think we've made some good signings. We've signed a couple of... Well, we've signed... Every player has been, so far, has experience at this level, with most of them having a lot of experience at this level. So it's good to have experiences at that level, and hopefully we will be able to be in around the playoffs. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for a playoff push. Administration's found up 6 bidders, but could apparently find none. Well, it's easier to sell if they're in administration. Maybe it's easier because they're clearly up for sale, and maybe he's bad to deal with or something like that. But it seems that other bloke, Bassini's totally out of the picture. West Ham have to improve from last season. Their fans are expected 7th place in Europa League qualification. They signed a player today who sounds quite good from what I've read. His name is Pablo Fornals, and he sounds pretty good. He's joined Manuel Pellegrini's team, so that'll be an interesting one. They've also signed 2 goalkeepers already, so it'll be interesting to see what other signings they make. Messi is going to Hereford. Wouldn't mind Messi, but we've got some good players now. Joke. Can probably try to do some dodgy deals with the bidders. He probably went with the one offering the most money. My 2 goalkeepers. Adrian has left the club, so they must need a replacement in the third one, maybe. It's weird signing 2 goalkeepers, to be fair. I find it quite weird, but it is what it is. They've signed 3 players so far, which I think is the highest out of everyone. I think Sarri's done... I'm interested to see what everyone else thinks, but Sarri has done pretty well, I think, at Chelsea. I think his stock is higher, as it says on BBC Sport. Stock is higher than when it was when he came in. I think he's done okay. Got to the Carabao Cup final, won Europa League, he finished third with Chelsea, so he's done pretty well. Bradford have signed Clayton Donaldson. That's a good signing. Good signing for League 2. They're in League 2, aren't they? That's quite a good signing, I think. I'd take him in League 2. I think that's a brilliant signing. Just because he couldn't score goals in the Championship. Let me have a look. League 2. So I don't think that's a bad move for Bradford City, who seem to have done a bit of business as well. Where do you think Rhodes will go? If Rhodes stays at Norwich, but Wednesday want him back, Leeds are also after him. I don't know. I don't think he'll be at. I don't think he'll be at Norwich next season. I think they'll sell him. I don't think he'll be there. I think they will sell him because he's not good enough for the Premier League. And if they want to be serious about staying in the Premier League, you know, they loaned him out last year, didn't they? He wants to stay at Norwich. Sorry, Wednesday want him back. So he was. I don't think he. Sorry, ignore what I said. I don't know what they'll do. Sorry, he is on loan at Norwich, isn't he? I don't know. I don't know what they'll do. Pookie. I don't know what they'll do with Pookie. I think that he will obviously stay at Norwich. I don't think there'll be too much interest in him. He's a very good player and everything, but I don't know if he's good enough to be in that sort of Premier League bracket. But he's done very well and deserves his chance. To score that many goals in the Championship is very, very, very good. Very good. But I'm not sure about Jordan Rhodes. It could go either way. Sorry for getting a bit confused. I thought he was at Sheffield United Wednesday, but he's not. He was at Norwich. That's where the confusion came. So another story is Chelsea would have to pay $4 million for Derby County boss Frank Lampard. Like I said, I'm not sure this is the step in the right direction. I think that they could probably go with someone who is maybe a bit more experienced, somebody maybe like the Ajax manager, somebody who's good at coaching the youth like the Ajax manager. But, you know, until the betting odds are out, it'll be interesting to see. I wonder if there is any. Yeah, I think it is. I think it is just too early. Too early for Lampard. Lampard is nowhere near ready, says Alex. So Frank Lampard is 1-8 on with Betfair and Paddy Power. Rafa Benitez, Jose Mourinho, Max Allegri. Max Allegri would be a hell of an appointment. Patrick Vieira, I definitely go with him. Eric Ten Hag, that's the man who is at Ajax. Nuno Espirito Santo, he'd be a very good appointment. Steve Holland, I don't think that would be a very step in the right direction. Laurent Blanc, Javi Gracia, John Terry, Brendan Rodgers, Carlo Ancelotti to make a return at 16-1. Who else do we have? Mikel Arteta is at 10-3. 50-1 Diego Simeone. Like I said, I think I'll probably go with Lampard, but I'm not sure that's a step in the right direction. They could maybe go with somebody a bit more experienced. Yeah, I think he should do one more year. Leonard, I think he should do one more year. Because at the end of the day, it could go totally wrong for him, and he could be totally out of the job. So it's hard to tell, because it is really hard to tell how good he is. He's obviously done a good job, but they have a good side. So I think one more year there would be good. But unfortunately, he's got to take it. If they come calling for him, he has to take it. He has to move, because if he doesn't move, then he'll always regret it. He's got to move if they come. But I don't think they will. Very messed up at Derby, not Chelsea. Yeah, because things can go really sour. Things can turn ugly, like they may at Manchester United with an ex-player. Shouldn't happen at Hereford. We had an ex-player turned manager, and it didn't work out, and it all got a little bit unsavoury. So I wouldn't want to see that. I wouldn't want to see the he needs to make sure that he's a good manager, and you can't have just 1 year at a level and expect to be ready. I think it's if he wasn't an ex-Chelsea player, there's no way on earth they'd be looking at Frank Lampard as manager. So that goes to tell you all. This is when is the League Cup draw? I think it is soon. I will look it up for you. So it says the first round will be played on the 12th of August. I'm pretty sure it's... So last year, it was on the 15th of June. So last year it was on the 15th of June, so I would imagine it would be probably maybe next week. Do you think Ollie will be good at Manchester United? I don't think so. I think he's got a really tough start. It all depends how they go. If they make a... I don't think long term he's the right man. But I think that they need to give him time and not expect great things overnight, because it never works out like that. It never works out like that. They have good players. They need to sign some good players, and they need to do what they need to. It makes me laugh, people trying to compare Bielsa to Lampard to Bielsa. No, Bielsa's obviously a much better manager. Unfortunately, he just lost out in the playoffs, which is disappointing. It's all happening now. Ollie at United, Woodgate at Middlesbrough, Lampard at Chelsea. It's like for a manager when random people become managers. I agree, Chris Welsh, so long as he fails at Liverpool, against Liverpool 6 times. You've got to hope it goes well for Lampard. That was the message. I hope it goes well for Lampard. Don't get me wrong, I want to see Gerrard do well as well as manager, but unfortunately it's a tough gig, and they are no qualms about hiring and firing managers. There's no qualms whatsoever. They will just hire if they need to, and fire easily. Follow me on Twitch, haven't already. I do football gaming, mainly FIFA and Football Manager. Twitch.tv/Mike Talks Football. Bill's on a season by season contract. So he's signed that, hasn't he? He's signed the new deal. So I don't think I think he'll be obviously manager. There's no chance of him leaving. So I think that'll be fine. I'm gonna head off in a few minutes. If you haven't got any more questions, feel free to add them to the chat, and I will respond then. But thanks so much for everyone who's tuned in so far. Dublin Derby has begun. Is it Bohemians versus Shamrock? Got Shamrocks to win. Don't know a great deal about Irish football. I know it's on a different. It starts in like March, doesn't it? Who do you think Man City will sign? I think they'll probably sign. I think they'll sign Rodri. I'd like to sign De Ligt, but I don't think that'll happen. So yeah, I'm not sure who they will sign, but hopefully they need to sign I'd like a left back, I'd like a centre back, and I'd like a defensive midfielder. I think. Every manager thinks that they will come to England. I think this is easy. 4 months after coming to England, oh shit, England is far too hard. Get me back to Spain. Well, they it sort of happened with Pep. Look how much he struggled when he took over. He really did struggle for a while. He got them in the top 4, don't get me wrong, but it can be very difficult. We've seen lots of foreign managers, particularly in the Championship, struggle. Hope you do a live stream again soon. It's just to catch up with everybody, make sure everyone's doing okay and see how everyone is and that sort of thing. It's nice to have a chat. Cheers, Mike. Great to see you again on stream soon. Hopefully, I might look at doing the under 21 tournament. So the under 21 championships is happening. It starts on Sunday. I might cover that. Not sure there'll be much interest, to be fair, but I might cover that. That's only a might, and I might cover England if they get further into the Women's World Cup. That would be quite good to cover. So that's only if they progress, and they're currently 0-0 between England and Argentina. I try to be in your live streams, mate. I know you do. I really do appreciate the support you give. I appreciate everyone's support, but Rich, you're always in my live streams. I really do appreciate it. Pep sometimes talks a load of crap. He once said that Newport have more quality in some areas of the pitch. No, I understand his point. He means like they're probably better at set pieces and stuff like that. As City aren't very good at set pieces. He says he was always worried. Donaldson was that bad for us. We were that bad that some of the misses were just funny. Yeah, but at Bradford's level, he's going to be quality, I think. I'm going to go to home and away games with Liverpool in the upcoming season. So you can do away games as well. Maybe you start vlogging or something, dude. That would be quite good. Perfect. If you do something, and it is interesting. Polish ladies lost today against Slovakia, only a friendly. It's just, I don't want it'll end up where I got nobody in, and I don't want to end up where it looks like I don't know what I'm talking about, because it's hard. It's not something that I watch a lot. I know like a lot of the players, but I don't know too much about the away players. So let me have a look at the starting lineup. So I know bits about most of them, but some of them I don't know, to be fair. So it's pretty hard, but hopefully I will. Where do you think Arsenal will finish? I think I'll tune in Travada, so I appreciate it. Where do you think Arsenal will finish? I think they need to improve in certain areas. I think Manchester United would improve. I think it will probably be about 5th again. 5th or 6th. Because I don't think they will invest to the point where they finish in the top 4. But having said that, they should have finished in the top 4. They brought on themselves, really. So maybe 4th, but about 4th or 5th, I would say. So hopefully they get the investment they need. But I don't think that will happen. I think Solskjaer will get sacked. I think he will get sacked if the start isn't what it needs to be. If it's the usual, after 10 games, if they're in the mid-table, he's going to he's gonna struggle. So you think he'll finish 4th to Valles? It would be good for them to get back into the Champions League, to be able to spend a bit more money and things like that. Will Leeds fall apart again? I hope they don't. I hope they do it this time, but there's always that chance. I mean, there's a lot of talk that Bielsa sides start falling away in about February, and that's sort of what happened, because it's so intense. Manchester United have to improve drastically. There's a lot of dead wood, isn't there? There's a lot of dead wood, and I don't think they'll get rid of enough dead wood. Of course, Leeds are going to fall apart. I don't want them in the Premier League. They'll come to the Premier League again. It was just a matter of time of when. So we've been live for nearly an hour, and I appreciate everyone tuning in. It's been nice to talk to you all. Be there soon. Hopefully, Rich. It'd be good to see a big club like Leeds back in the Premier League. It would be good to have Ellen Road back as a Premier League ground as well. Nothing. Just looking at it. Women's World Cup. I will watch it as soon as the game's over. As soon as I'm done streaming, to be fair. These are a small club, in my opinion. They're bigger than Derby. That's a bit of a weird comparison. In my opinion, I think that they're a bigger club than Derby. Certainly get more through the gates, don't they? And their away following is more. So I think that they're bigger. I hope Leeds go back up, as they are a big club like Aston Villa. It's very true. I hope Burnley do better. I wouldn't mind seeing Burnley go down, to be fair. I wouldn't mind. There's one of the teams I don't mind going down, but I think Sean Dyche will keep them up. Even though Derby beat them. Yeah, Derby beat them, but Leeds beat them 3 times. Like 75% of the time, Leeds won the game. It's only that one game that Derby won. So, it's not really about, it's not really about that. Huddersfield drew with Manchester United, but it doesn't make them the same size club, does it? Leeds travel in massive numbers. They do. They travel in huge numbers. They're very well supported. I remember when Hereford played them and they sold out, and there was loads of them in the home end and stuff like that. Sell out that night. Sean deserves better. The problem is I can't see anybody going for him. I think he's stuck there. I can't see any of the big clubs going for him. Even Ipswich beat Leeds. They did, but it was just one of those freak results that happen at the end of the season. You can have some really weird results at the end of the season, can't you? That's like saying Leicester won the league and makes them big club. Well, Leicester have won more Premier League titles than Liverpool. Leicester have won more Premier League titles than Tottenham, but that doesn't make them as big a club. Look at the size of both their stadiums and their history and stuff. Did a good videos that day. All I can say is watch the season. Hopefully it's another great season. That's what I'm hoping for. Shame he's a good manager. He is a good manager. It's just there's no pluses to having him. Like he's not going to play good football. He's not going to bring young players through, I don't think. So there's not too many things going in his direction. So hopefully it'll be another fantastic season in the Championship and the Premier League. Really looking forward to it. Hopefully we will see Manchester City champions again. Now, hopefully we'll have a good and may the best team win. It's going to be interesting to see the transfers and who brings in who and what they do and what's their where do they think they need improvement. That'll be very, very interesting as well. This Premier League is going to be great. Hopefully the players they bring in will be of quality and it will be interesting. Another great season. I think Alex Manager will be in Premier League manager in the upcoming seasons. I wouldn't be surprised, but then again he could go somewhere else abroad But I wouldn't be surprised to see him come to the UK and manage, a Chelsea or Manchester United, someone like that. I think that Pep Guardiola seems very happy at Manchester City. Jurgen Klopp seems very happy at Liverpool. I can't see any of them moving. Do you think Southgate should leave England? I don't think he should leave England. I think it's a match made in heaven a little bit. He's good. He's bringing young players through and he's doing really well. And I think he's at the right job at the right time. England supporters are behind him, and I think to throw that away would be a bit stupid. So he could go on to manage Chelsea. I just don't see it happening. I think he will stay. Next season, I think it will be top. Could even come down to goal difference, although I see Liverpool winning the league this time. I have a feeling Liverpool will win the league this time as well. But it all depends on the transfers. I think whoever has the best window will win the Premier League. And I think it'll be the same too. Southgate will leave if we don't win the World Cup by 2022. See, I don't think that's the case. I think he wants to bring young players through and do well. And it doesn't make any difference to him if we... it obviously matters to him, but I think he wants to bring players through and make us a better footballing side and then have players coming through on a regular basis to make a good side. But I think the FA are very happy with Southgate. Southgate is very happy at England, and I think that they will remain there. Any more questions, or I'll be heading off in the next few minutes. I think Chelsea will struggle to get top 4 with a transfer ban. To get top 4, I think Pulisic has to come in and hit the ground running desperately. But I don't think they'll finish in the top 4, just because with the transfer ban, they won't be able to bring anyone in. They'll be relying on Pulisic. They'll be relying on signing Kovacic permanently, and then they will be relying on Mason Mount, Reece James, and people like that who's been out on loan and now coming back. Imagine if Liverpool went down. Well, I don't think that'll happen. I think Hazard will be hugely missed. Hazard will be a massive miss. Obviously, he's one of the best players in the world, so to lose him would be really, really disappointing for Chelsea. Yeah, I don't think that'll happen. I don't think any of the top sides will go down ever, probably again. I think Real Madrid will be better than Barcelona now they've got Hazard. They've done some good business. They brought in Jovic, they brought in Ferland Mendy, they brought in Militao. So they've done some good business. It's just whether they continue doing that good business. They certainly will be stronger than last season, that's for sure. And I think Hazard is a step in the right direction, doing very well. Right, I'm going to head off. Thanks so much everyone who's tuned in. I appreciate it. Nick, Alex, thanks so much for tuning in. Leonard, thanks so much for tuning in. Rich, thanks so much for tuning in as well. Chris, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much everyone who's tuned in. I appreciate every single one of you. And I will probably do more of these. So hopefully you enjoy them, and hopefully we can do some more as the summer goes on. There's too many teams in the Premier League for that to happen. Yeah, that's very true. Thank you so much for tuning in, Chris and Leonard. I appreciate it. Right, I'm going to head off. Thanks so much for everyone who's watching. I appreciate it. My name is Mike, and I will see you all soon. Wait, I'm over here now. That's weird. Right, see you all, guys. Nick, thanks for tuning in as well. Sorry, I missed you earlier. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Mike, and I will see you soon.